They say he only appears when you notice him first. It started for Tyler on an ordinary Tuesday night after a shift at the construction site downtown. Walking home, the streets slick from the evening rain, the city lights cast long wavering shadows on the cracked pavement. He heard the first echo behind him, a single clop, like metal striking concrete. Tyler paused, looking back. The sidewalk was empty. Shaking off the unease, he continued, quickening his pace. Another clop followed, then another, rhythmic, insistent, like footsteps, but hollowed out somehow. Tyler glanced again. A tall figure lingered beneath a flickering street lamp, face hidden beneath the shadow of a wide-brimmed hat, its silhouette elongated unnaturally. Tyler's heart lurched as his gaze dropped to its foot. It was a hoof. Tyler ran, convinced fatigue had conjured nightmares. Yet, night after night, the hoofed man returned, a silhouette at the edge of vision, never fully illuminated. Soon, Tyler felt eyes watching him everywhere. In the reflections on subway windows, behind the broken blinds of abandoned buildings, and in dark alleyways where the city's heartbeat faded into silence. Sleep became a memory, paranoia his shadow. Friends laughed when he whispered of the hoofed figure, waving away his fears as, nonsense. But when Tyler returned home, he'd see hoof prints outside his apartment door, muddy tracks that disappeared at sunrise. In desperation, he searched for answers in the old corners of the internet, the kind of stories nobody took seriously, whispers from anonymous people who also had felt those terrible eyes, heard the single hoof echo behind them. The hoofed man, they called him, a city-born phantom, an omen of doom, whose gaze marked those soon to vanish without a trace. And vanish they did. Tyler read accounts of people disappearing without explanation, each last sighted claiming a hoof-footed stranger had trailed their steps. One moonless night, driven to the brink, Tyler faced the shadows head-on. He waited under the same flickering street lamp where the nightmare first appeared. Soon, the unmistakable sound of the hoof approached from behind, slow and purposeful. Tyler turned, trembling, heart hammering painfully. The figure towered silently, now clear beneath the sputtering street lamp. Its face was obscured by a deep hood. Shadows clung to it unnaturally, defying the laws of light. The hoof, polished black like obsidian, glistened with rainwater. "What do you want?" Tyler's voice broke, frail and small against the oppressive silence. The figure leaned forward slightly, a voice dry and rasping like leaves dragged across stone, whispered from beneath the hood. "Recognition," it breathed. "To be seen is to exist, and to exist is to persist." Leave me alone," Tyler pleaded, barely audible. But the figure stepped closer, You noticed, you acknowledged, now I live through you. Tyler felt cold dread seep into his bones, an unbearable weight pulling him into the abyss of shadow. The figure retreated, its hoof ringing hollow into the night, each step fading until there was nothing left but silence and darkness. The next morning, the street lamp flickered to life, illuminating empty pavement. No one saw Tyler again. Yet somewhere, on rain-slicked streets of the city, the rhythmic clop of a hoof continues, waiting for someone else to turn, to notice, to make real again what should have stayed forgotten.